It may not actually be morning, but we wanted to check in. It's been a week since Propelify. Been a great experience, and so just wanted to kind of check in and share what we've been up to behind the scenes. We've also moved our studio to Fulcrum, one of the Tech United New Jersey members. I'm going to show you around a little bit. It looks very cool. Here's my view. Here, we'll make this big for you. Swappity swap over there. There's Jasmine backstage. All these fancy lights. This is our B cam coming soon, the over the shoulder shot. And then what's very cool about this space is this super fantastic view. How awesome is that? So come visit us in Jersey City soon. But really just wanted to check in and see how your Propelify experience was, what you're working on, check in with some people on the team, see how they're doing. So let's start with Jasmine. Jasmine, you want to come jump on in the frame with me here? How you feeling about that? Not so eager, apparently. Yeah, there was an echo, I think this is my phone, but I took care of it.
Okay.
So, we're back. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
How was your first Propelify in-person event experience?
It was really good.
Was it good?
It was really good. It was a lot, but it was good.
It was a lot. What were some of the... What do you think was the most surprising good thing that happened?
I don't know if it was surprising, but it was just the energy. I wasn't sure if the energy was going to be matched this year with the pandemic, just the general new venue, just the new energy, the new team producing it. Like, a lot has changed since the last time Propelify was in person. So
Agreed.
it was a good surprise.
What were some key... what could have gone better? What's one thing that could have gone better?
I think we probably could have had a little bit of a better plan for what was going to happen when we actually got on site. I think there was 40% of me that wasn't sure if we were ever going to make it there. So probably could have had a little more put together on let's put all the furniture here and let's do this music there, but it ended up working out.
I think it worked very, very well. I mean, it was a great experience. What was your favorite moment?
Definitely setting off the fireworks.
Fireworks were pretty awesome.
That was great.
One day we'll have it so we can shoot to fireworks.
I know. I was I could have had the video ready, but
we could have showed it. Maybe we'll
later.
kick you off and you can pull it up while I talk to Anna.
Okay.
Not yet. There were some vendors who were really great to work with. Anything you learned from how they operate that you think we could learn from?
I think some of it is repetition, right? They've done this a million times and it shows. And so taking the one time we've done Propelify, at least that I've done it, and learning a ton from that. I think we debriefed as a team. I think that was super helpful. So we were able to learn from that rather than maybe duplicating or replicating mistakes 10 or 25 times over. I think we learned a lot from them. So I think that's one piece, and it's just always coming prepared. Always having 6 backups, 85 things you might need, just really having everything to be prepared for solving any challenges that come up instead of just coming up against them and not being able to tackle those.
Agreed. One thing we got right this year that I've never had right since we started was registration and check-in.
Yeah.
There was no line. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time moving bike rack.
So much time.
Did you have any
personal injury?
any casualties of bike rack?
There's a small piece of bike rack still in my finger, I think, but it's fine. Thank you for pulling it out. I made Aaron pull it out of my finger. It's please.
I think it was cold. It was raining. It was late.
It was not the best combination.
It was a late night,
but it worked.
I'm going to bring you back on.
Okay.
Let's go to Anna,
all right,
who's thrilled for my impromptu Let's Go Live on all the social media. Let's see what her experience was like. You ready, Anna? Whoa. Jasmine's breaking things in the studio. Here we go. Anna, good to see you. Thanks for joining the show.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I was able to pull a little outfit together for going
You're doing
live
great.
For a 2-second, heads up, but I'm here.
This is what we do.
I know, I love it.
How was your Propelify 20? So you know, for those who don't know Anna, super awesome member of the team, manager of marketing and experiences. You kind of were thrown into the 2019 experience, where those of you who were there may remember the rain. 20 was all virtual. 21 originally was like the Tech United team ran the whole thing. So from Anna, I'm curious from your perspective, what were some of your favorite moments? Let's start with that.
So favorite moments, I feel like there was a bunch throughout the day of like people that you've been talking on Zoom with, or communicating with and seeing them in person, and them being so excited to see our team kind of be there and putting this all together. That was exciting. There was one moment specifically when the fireworks were already going and our entire team kind of came in for this group hug, and it was awesome because we pulled it off as a team. And it felt great. Like, it had been a stressful month of putting this event together, and it just kind of showed that, hey, we did it, and it was awesome.
That was a great moment. I hadn't eaten much or slept much, and so like the half a drink that I had by that point really kind of did me in. But I do clearly remember that moment. What do you think are some of the things that go on behind the scenes that people really don't realize? That, what are some things you've told like friends and family? You're like, but you don't realize this is like the crazy stuff that happens to make this work.
I think I tell them like, help, send help. But I'm just kidding. But there's things that you can't anticipate going into it, right? Like you can prepare all you want, but the week of when you're doing setup, there's going to be things that come out of you from left field. And I think the way the team handles it has been great. We always have a solution mindset. And so preparing for that, or at least having the right mindset to go into that, and kind of like whatever comes our way, we're dealing with it and we're getting it done. It shows, and like the event went great. And, I feel like that's the one thing, like you're stressful. Like I worked on the speaker process, and I kept telling him like, what if they don't show up? And I can only control so much, but the day comes and it goes off without a hitch, and it's great.
Let's talk about that speaker process in a second, but first let's see, we're playing with some new technology here. Let's see if we can get this music bed going in the background. This is a safe space to try to test some new stuff.
It's already been going.
Do you hear it?
Yeah.
Do you hear it, Anna?
I don't.
I don't hear it.
I could be deaf. I could be losing.
It's very low.
You can turn it up.
Hold on.
I got nothing.
You might have
Anna,
to
you hear
put it
it?
on the screen, Jasmine. That might be why.
Oh, I think you turned the camera off on that one, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, you turned the camera off on that one, add the stream, and I think we're good to go.
That's what I need.
Hit the 3 little buttons. Oh well, we'll figure it out. We had it. We lost it.
We lost it.
Back to you, Anna. Let's talk about the speaker process, because I think people don't appreciate, I certainly didn't when I got into doing these kinds of things, how much work goes into filling 2 stages, lots of sessions, lots of speakers, a million moving parts. Like, tell people what that process is like.
Logistically, there's just so many like moving parts. You have to make sure that you're coordinating everyone's schedules. You want to make sure that all the speakers are talking to each other beforehand so that they don't go into it blind when they're going on stage. That's the logistical part. But the other part is like, how do you create a compelling show? Like, how do you make the talks just, beyond the future of X, and like actually make it something that people are going to walk away and be like, wow, I learned something. So I think that was the coolest part when you're talking to these speakers, where they can lean in on what they can speak to, and then how do you marry that up with the person that they're speaking with and kind of create this great talk, an interesting topic, and and also make it relevant to what's going on right now. So I think that was an interesting thing to like be a part of. It was my first time.
What do you find that speakers want to do that is sometimes in conflict with what we want them to do? Is there anything?
I think the biggest thing, I know that we wanted to introduce more debates on stage, and I think that definitely creates for an interesting conversation and having 2 different perspectives. And I think sometimes speakers want to be mindful of their brand or whatever it might be, so they might not be as eager to just completely jump into a debate. So the speakers that did this year, I was pretty proud of them, and I think those talks really, they were very interesting, and it was interesting to see the crowd also kind of get hyped up about it. Like, oh my God, there's no way, like this person was right. Like, I know it. So that was cool to see. I
actually haven't had a chance to see those. I'm looking forward to watching those sessions.
Definitely watch the New York City one.
We find that our goal is to make the most compelling content possible. That's controversial, that's compelling, and sometimes some of the speakers want to do things that are sort of like their standard talking points. Any tips for like how to get them to sort of come out of their shell or break away from some of the standard, just the standard talking points that they've got in mind?
I think we saw the most interesting points come out when we actually got all of the panelists or people that were going to be in the talk together. And when we were doing that prep call and we were going through the questions, then you started seeing them, well, like, I actually think if we talked about this, it'd be more interesting, because they've already done that talk a bunch of times. So they start realizing, like, hey, if we actually bring this key point or interesting, perspective into it, it just makes for a more interesting talk, even for them, like, as they're talking on stage. So I think that's been when you kind of get them together and get them to start talking about it. Also, like,
What's
us
something
pushing them to do it.
Oh,
Like,
go.
oh, sorry.
Go
I was
ahead.
just thinking
I have a
us
slight
getting-
delay. You're going.
It was just us getting them to do it as well. I think us provoking that and kind of being like, hey, would you be interested in talking about this? I think sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Let's bring Jasmine back on the show. Oh, before she comes back on, we're going to show off the super awesome fireworks. See if we can make this work.
I'm gonna make this work.
The fireworks are really great. We're ready. Here it comes.
Does everybody want to see the coolest thing ever?
Here we go. Oh yeah, this is fun.
Fire! Fire!
That was pretty awesome.
That was sick.
You could have kept it going.
That was the whole video.
Oh, you could stop it. All right, come back on the show.
Okay, I'm coming back.
So Anna, what do you think of how this is a major undertaking, as you know. How do you think our friend Jasmine here did?
She killed it. I think I told everyone that I ran into, I was like, honestly, props to Jasmine. Like, she pulled it off, especially on the week of. This was, I think, her first time doing it outside in person. I know she's done events indoors, but I think she pulled it off. And I don't know, it's been a pleasure working with her on this, because I feel like regardless of things that could have gone wrong, she's handled it real well. I'm proud of her. You killed it.
You did kill it. You did a great job. It's a huge undertaking. Even though you have a lot of event experience, this is a unique beast of an event. And I thought you did a really fantastic job leading the team to make this thing. I mean, the feedback, overwhelmingly positive. Besides a few bumps, I think we all recognize it was a very, very smooth build and great event, and it was a lot of fun. How do you think your friend Anna did? Our friend Anna did here.
Wow, I didn't realize we just lost a friendship, Aaron.
He said what he said.
We did.
I thought Anna did great. I thought she really stepped up, and there was no point in which I really felt, which sometimes can happen during events. Sometimes you get people and they can't handle it. It's a really, really intense experience. So she stepped up at every corner, every turn, was always on it. Oftentimes was on it before I was on it, which is what makes it so good. And I did an incredible job. We couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you.
Agreed. We didn't invite Dan and Devin because this was sort of a last-minute show, but I think really what made this whole thing so special is that everybody rallied. There was all of us were there till late in the evening, if not early in the mornings, moving things, setting things up, building. Dan and Devin talk about setting up a new moving/decorating company. There was a lot going on. Any specific moments on stage or meeting exhibitors or things you heard from people that stand out, or things feedback that come in that you're particularly psyched about?
I think overall, like, there's been this. I kept seeing notes and people telling me, like, oh, I was busy talking to people the entire day. Like, I didn't stop at any moment. And I think that makes us as a team feel really great, knowing that this is why we do what we do, like bringing everyone together, connecting everyone. So that was really cool to see and hear.
Agreed. What about you? Any notes that stand out?
The challenges. So we had 2 challenges this year, Better Wellness and Better Planet, and the pitches and the energy and the fact that a lot of people wrote in saying that they agreed that the choices the judges picked they thought were the right moves, and there was a lot of really positive energy, and also the threat of just the equity within all of them, that these were solutions that were available for all, really made an improvement, not just with the people that can buy a Tesla, but with the individuals that just want to get from here to there without creating any pollution or being more efficient. So that was a really, really good moment as well.
There was a great moment on stage. I don't know if either of you were there,
Yeah.
where when we went to give away the prize for the Better Wellness Challenge, the judges asked one of the startups, "Do you actually need this money?" And he said, "Not really. You'd better giving. It'll go much further with one of these other companies," which I thought really was a great
Super
moment.
classy.
And really embodied the spirit
For
of
sure.
what Propelify is all about.
Yeah.
I feel like in the past there's an element of dread that I wonder, I'm guessing here, but if the two of you were to talk about like, Propelify's coming, I would guess there's this like an element of like, this thing. But now that we've done it, Jasmine said to me, like, I'm ready to go, let's do another one next week. I feel like Anna could run speakers process, mostly in her sleep. I'm not saying we should do one next week, but do you feel more, I mean, neither of you said anything negative to me about it, but we talked about it being ownership among the team. I'm wondering if you feel more sort of positive and just a sense of ownership in this experience moving forward.
Definitely. I feel like also seeing how we acted as a team on the day of, because that's the day where anything and everything can go wrong or right. I thought we handled it like great as a team, so it makes me feel better going into it next year, not next week. But yeah, I definitely feel good.
I mean, it is fun.
It is.
It is fun. I mean,
It's something.
It's something.
we have some other tricks up our sleeve for the end of this year.
We do. Things like carnivals and other things that people should pay attention to.
Yeah.
Another moment that stood out to me is we've been working with PSEG for a long time, and they had a lot. They showed up in force. Their CEO, their new president, but a lot of the team. But it struck me that it's not just a business relationship that we've gotten to know all these people, David and Rick and Ginny, who retired but came anyway, and the rest, a lot of people. But I think when you look back over many years at like what were the key moments, it's those individuals, those relationships, and having fun. The lead up and the stress, and how does this all work?
For sure.
That was a particularly. We were all hanging out in the VIP. That was a proud moment. And then we got a note in that I also think really embodies the spirit of the event. This just came in earlier today. Somebody said, Todd, who you may have heard of on our team, he asked this person who hit him up on LinkedIn that he met at the event, what was some of your highlights of the day? And he said, honestly, it was the fact that so many people were open to giving me tips and advice. I've never been in an environment where the culture was so heavily focused on giving value to others. That, my favorite talk was the Can Crypto Kill Central Banks? Which was also cool because the next day, Celsius announced a $400 million round at a $3 billion valuation. So
Yeah.
Propelify is where news happens.
It's true.
I think that's all I got. Do either of you have any other comments or questions for me?
How do you feel how it went, Aaron?
That feels a little accusatory. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
how
set
do
up
you
for
feel?
something on that one. How do you feel, Anna?
I remember
feel great.
asking you on the day of like, are you happy with this? And you were, and that was really good to see as well.
I was really happy. I think the team gives so much heart and passion to what you all do with Tech United, and this year, last week at Propelify. I was very proud. I was very happy. I was also the least stressed, even though I know I was stressed, and it sometimes comes out in Slack and other medium. But I was thrilled with how it went. It was great to work with you all on it. I was the least stressed I've been since it started, and I feel like next year it'll actually be like a very manageable. It feels like there's a new opportunity to refresh things, that we can kind of take a step back, add some creative energy, and see what we can do that's sort of more interesting, more unique, a little more impactful, because we've kind of got this figured out. So I was really happy, and it was great to work with both of you on it. And we'll give you the virtual high five. Boom. I'll give you the real life high five.
Wow.
Also, congratulations on your first bike ride in like a decade. That is it for the Jasmine and Aaron morning show this afternoon. We will see you soon. If I can get us out of here, I will. Wait, no, we're
Are you going
over
jams?
here. Yeah.
Right down here. Keep going, Jams.